Take some of the biggest glaciers in the lower 48, mix in some of the steepest terrain and the thickest brush, and then draw a line nearly 40 miles straight through it, north to south, along the highest ridges. And that's the Ptarmigan Traverse. Like any good trip, it started out far too early, but within a couple of hours, you're quickly reminded of why it's always worth the early start. My name's Collin Blunk. This is my wife, Liz Blunk.
And together, we're the Wild Outsiders. Along with us on this trip were Casey Sullivan, who's got almost 2 decades of climbing experience, and Lauren Wood, who was actually on her first big mountaineering trip ever, but just took everything head on, and it was fun to watch the mentorship going on between them. The reason that Collin and I tend to have so much trust in each other is because we've known each other for so long. We've been together for 10 years, adventuring for 8, and so I'm never questioning Collin's skills or where he's been when we go outdoors together. But this trip was a little bit different since we were embarking with people that we'd never met before. And I used to think that, you needed a lot of time with somebody to gain a lot of trust in them, but the minute that they pulled up to the campsite that we were waiting at, I could tell that these were people that I could trust through this trip. It's just kind of a gut feeling that you get when you meet somebody.
Looks like it goes.
On day 1, we got up hours before sunrise and quickly left the beaten path. The weather was playing games with us, but it was a big day, so we pushed over Cache Call and started into the Glacier Peak wilderness regardless. Then it was past Kool-Aid Lake, across the infamous Red Ledge, up and over yet another glacier through the formidable Spider Call, and down and around a massive cirque to Yinging Lakes. And that was just day 1.
We started day 2 with a climb up the steep snow gully right from the start. For someone who hadn't really been mountaineering before, Lauren did a fantastic job of rising to every challenge.
A big part of that was having the faith in us and in Casey to show her the ropes. The whole point of this trip was to soak in the beauty of this part of the Cascades that not a lot of people get to see. And this day was full of opportunity to view that beauty.
We've slept in a lot of special places, but those lakes have to be near the top of our list.
We are getting up early to head towards the moon.
It's dark, we are descending a boulder field, and then we lose track of the trail and have to schwack through Slide Alder.
Happy face!
My least favorite part. But then the sun hits us and we start climbing again, and it's really just magic.
This is why we come to this place. As you progress through the trip, you can see the landscapes you've conquered, and it's honestly one of the most humbling parts. We decided to stop early that day because the area was just so breathtaking, which gave us all the time to reflect on what we'd seen so far.
Collin and I even took a little trip over to a peak on the side, and we hung out with the crew, got to know everybody, played some games, and really just got a chance to talk about where we'd been and what we have to come the next day, which was the worst part of the trip, the end.
The trip wraps with one of the most gnarly bushwhacks I've ever seen, and the rain definitely added to it, but all that being said, we would have done it again in a heartbeat. The thrill of, having completed the Ptarmigan, at that point there was not much that really could have dulled our excitement. We had accomplished what we set out to do, and it was even bigger and more beautiful than we could have ever imagined.